At 11:47 last night, something extraordinary took place inside Mitch McConnell's private office. Something unprecedented in the 249-year history of the United States Senate. 4 men quietly walked in, without cameras, without staff, and without any public announcement. They entered separately, taking care not to attract attention, and for the next 37 minutes, they engaged in discussions that could alter the course of American history. When they finally walked out, they carried with them a decision that had the potential to end Donald Trump's presidency within just 72 hours. The weight of that moment cannot be overstated. This was not speculation. This was not rumor. This was not another sensationalized headline written to grab clicks. What happened in that room represents the most significant internal revolt against a sitting president in modern American history. If you care even slightly about what happens to this country over the next 3 days, it is crucial that you pay attention. 72 hours from now could determine whether American democracy still has a functioning immune system or whether the structures designed to protect it finally fail under pressure. The decisions made behind closed doors last night are shaping the immediate future of the Republican Party, the presidency, and the country at large. This is a defining moment that will be remembered in history books, and you need to understand exactly how it came to pass. Let's rewind and walk through the week that shattered Donald Trump's hold over the Republican Party. What occurred in McConnell's office did not happen in isolation. It was the culmination of a series of events, cracks that had been forming over the previous 7 days. These events, when seen together, show a systematic erosion of Trump's power, both politically and legally. Understanding the sequence of events is essential, because the timeline itself reveals the gravity of the situation and how close the party is to a decisive turning point. On Tuesday, January 14th, Wisconsin held an election for its state Supreme Court. This was no minor, obscure local contest. This was a critical battleground election, determining who will oversee election disputes in 2026 and 2028. The stakes could not have been higher. Donald Trump and Elon Musk threw everything they had behind their candidate: money, rallies, social media campaigns, and the full power of the MAGA machine. They mobilized supporters, created viral content, and used every tactic in their arsenal. Yet, despite all of that effort, they were soundly defeated. Not by a slim margin, not by a few hundred votes, but by a landslide. The candidate they backed lost by double digits, delivering a devastating blow in a state Trump needs to win to secure the presidency. Wisconsin had spoken, sending a clear message that Trump's influence, even with Elon Musk's support, was not absolute. The next day, Wednesday, January 15th, brought another dramatic setback. The United States Senate voted 51-48 against Donald Trump's tariff authority on Canada. 4 Republican senators, Mitch McConnell, Susan Collins, Lisa Murkowski, and Rand Paul, crossed party lines to vote with Democrats, stripping Trump of power he had wielded like a weapon. Earlier that morning, Trump had attacked all 4 senators personally on Truth Social, labeling them traitors and threatening them with primary challenges. Yet, in an astonishing display of defiance, they voted against him anyway. When intimidation fails to produce obedience, power begins to dissipate. And that is exactly what happened. Thursday, January 16th, brought the Wall Street Journal, not some liberal outlet, but the voice of American business conservatism, publishing an editorial that condemned Trump's tariffs as the dumbest trade war in history. The editorial did not mince words. It called the tariffs what they truly were: taxes on American families, destructive to supply chains, alienating allies, and pushing the U.S. economy toward a potential recession. That same day, after-hours trading revealed the market in freefall, and the Japan bond crisis began to hit American portfolios. Retirement accounts were bleeding, and Wall Street made it clear excuses for Trump were over. Friday, January 17th, escalated matters further. New York State began executing a judgment against Trump's business empire. The sheriff showed up at Trump Tower not to investigate or issue warnings, but to seize assets. Bank accounts at Mar-a-Lago were frozen. The 40 Wall Street property was placed under receivership review. This was not theater. This was not political posturing. Donald Trump was witnessing his life's work, the empire he had built his entire identity around being dismantled in real time by court order. And there was absolutely nothing he could do to stop it.